So, guys, welcome to the final Zoom call of the year. That is only because next week is Christmas Eve, and then the week after that is New Year's Eve. So, we won't be doing calls on those days, obviously, because we'll all be resting. We'll all be taking some time to chill out. But this is going to be the final Zoom call of the year, and I want to do kind of like a wrap up. Although we're not finished for the year, obviously we're not going anywhere, but I want to take this opportunity to wrap up the year and talk about why this year was such a success for you all and why this year actually changed you all, even if you don't feel like it has, even if there's maybe things of progress that you haven't noticed. And even if you've maybe only been in the program for like a few weeks, even if you've not been here for very long, I want to go through that. I don't want this call to be one that's about um, necessarily pushing forwards, more reflection and talking about how far you've come. So setting the tone. Like I said, this is the last call of the year, and this is about recognizing what you have actually built this year and whether you've been here for years, for months, or for weeks. Some of you are right at the start of your journey in this. Some of you are very much in the middle of it, in the thick of it. Others are have been here for years and have been here a lot longer and in a different place. So wherever you are, we're going to talk about that today. So most people forget their progress. And that's a generalization for all people, but I can also say that about all of you guys from working with all of you on such a close basis. I can also tell you that a lot of people and a lot of you guys forget your own progress too. Often, because of the way that we are as people, we're hard on ourselves. We're very good at spotting what we haven't done, but we are absolutely terrible at recognizing what we have done. I know that I've been guilty of that before as well. I think it's just how we're wired. I think we're naturally wired to be quite hard on ourselves. But progress becomes very normal to us. So we stop seeing it, particularly if you're someone that's been here for quite a while. But that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. That doesn't mean that you haven't made progress. And I want to really talk about that today. So I want you to talk about how far you have actually come. So I don't want to talk about the scales here. I know that pretty much all of you are here because you have a big weight loss goal, a huge transformation goal. All of you are here for that reason, but I don't want to talk about the scales today. This year, as well as seeing the scales go down, as well as seeing your weight drop down, you have also very likely had so many other wins that you've maybe not even taken stock of. So you've likely built more awareness around food. You've shown up on weeks that you didn't feel like it or days that you didn't feel like it. You have learned how your body actually responds to things. You have learned how to fuel your body better. You have stayed consistent probably longer than you ever have by being in this program. Some of you, the big leap, for those of you that are newer, might even have just been that you actually joined this program, that you took the plunge and invested in yourself and hired a coach and joined a program and gave yourself probably the best gift that you could ever give yourself, which is changing your life for the better. And not only that, have you done all these incredible things this year, every single one of you, you have also probably confronted some habits and some beliefs, some self-limiting beliefs that are holding you back. All of these things are very easy to gloss over or to not take stock of. These things are amazing achievements. And you will see they have absolutely nothing to do with the scales. Not to say that aesthetic goals aren't important. Aesthetic goals are just as important. And at the end of the day, we're all here because we want to have an aesthetic goal. You guys are all here mainly for that reason. But these are the wins that are to do with like your confidence, your self-esteem, your mindset, your mental health. All of these are so much bigger than that, in my opinion. I think that that is bloody amazing. So I want you guys to really take stock of that and realize that there are probably so many wins that you've never noticed before that you have had. And I want you guys to all remember that you are not the same person that you were, whether you've been here for 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 years. You are not the same person that you were when you first walked through the door with us. So this year, as you look back, whether most of this year was in the program or wasn't in the program, just your year in general, even if the scale maybe didn't move as fast as you wanted in some areas, there are so many other things that I can guarantee and that I know all of you are doing better. You think and respond differently. You recover quicker from setbacks, from knockbacks, from failures. You don't quit as easily as you used to. You respect your boundaries, and that is in your health and fitness journey and out of your health and fitness journey. You make yourself a priority, which so many people don't do, and so many people will never do because they think it's a bad thing and they think they feel guilty about that. You are a role model for those closest to you, whether you are a husband, a wife, a parent, a friend, a colleague, even a son, a daughter, whatever you might be, you are now a role model for those closest around you because you are someone that really prioritizes their health and takes their health very seriously. I guarantee that you handle stress better as well. That's what the gym teaches you more than anything. At the end of the day, going into the gym and putting yourself through a workout is putting your body under stress. That's what it is. Um, and it's impossible for you to not handle stress better as a byproduct of taking care of your body. And on top of all of that, you have added years onto your life by being in this program and by putting your health first and by really committing to yourself. You will have already added years onto your life if you've been with us for a while, or even if you're new, you are about to add years onto your life by really joining and taking care of yourself. For me, and in my opinion, that is real growth. Like that's real growth. And that is bigger than what any scale says. That's why I also always say to you guys that the scales are mainly there for me or Adam, whoever your main coach is. The scales are mainly there so that we know that we are doing the right thing for you and you are progressing in the direction that you need to be progressing in. And that is why I'm always really keen on wanting you guys to notice the non-scale victories and to celebrate the non-scale victories because it's so easy to get bogged down by that. But all of these things that I've just read out are pretty incredible, right? Like they're pretty amazing. And these are all things that you guys have learned or are learning right now. So I want you guys to always really remember that. Yes, the scales are there. Yes, the scales are important, but we don't want to place the scales on a pedestal and have that be the only thing that we look back on and think is our progress. There are so many other things that are deeper than that. I want to also remind you guys that looking back on this year, motivation is not what got you here. It is not what got you here, even if you feel like it might have been. And I think this is particularly important to talk about at this time of year because this time of year is probably one of the hardest times for motivation, with it being December, with it being Christmas, with, like I always say, everyone around you telling you to wind down, telling you to stop, saying just start in Jan. You're getting the New Year, New Me crew, getting very, very loud at this point. And believe me, I see it all the time. I see it all the time. People kind of like using that excuse of I'm not starting now, I'm starting in Jan. I think this is really important to talk about that motivation is not what you guys, isn't what got you guys here. Because let's be honest, there is no way that all of you were motivated all year. It's impossible. I don't know a single person that stays motivated all year round. Nobody, not even like the highest level coaches or like elite level athletes. Like nobody is motivated all year. But the amazing thing is that despite you not being motivated all year, you were still able to track your food when you didn't want to. You trained and went in the gym when your energy was low and when you didn't want to be there. You bounced back after tough weeks, tough days, but it wasn't motivation that pulled you through. It was taking action. That is what pulled you through. And that's what I want to talk about now. Action will always beat motivation every single time. Motivation is an emotion. It isn't like a tangible thing. It's not something you can really take in your stride and use. It's so fickle. And as we all know, it doesn't come around very often. She doesn't come around very often. Action, on the other hand, taking action, whether it's the smallest possible thing that you could do, is something that is tangible and is totally something that is in your power and always in your control. Motivation doesn't just come to us magically. Motivation is created when you take action without overthinking. That rip the band-aid off mentality of you're just going to do something, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not your usual 100% effort. It's about taking that action, ripping the band-aid off and just doing it, even if it's like a fraction of what you normally do. It's the doing it that brings that motivation and what pulls you through. And it's created when you keep going, even when your progress feels really slow. I'm sure you've all had it at points throughout your journey so far. Progress feels like it's super slow. It may well even feel like it's a bit slow at the moment because it's December, like it's dark so early, like this month of the year can be quite tough to get through. But that action is why you're still here. Taking that action is why you're still here and why you haven't quit and why you haven't given up on yourself. So I want you guys to really remember that and always remember that going forwards. This time of year is where a lot of people quit. Like I said, the New Year, New Me crew, a lot of people don't want to start now. This is where loads of people slow down and quit. People lose faith, they lose trust in what they've been doing and lose faith in their progress. They write the rest of the year off and they just convince themselves that they'll sort it later. But you are not most people anymore. Just in the nature of what you guys are doing, being in this program, really making promises to yourself and committing to your health and making that one of your top priorities, you are actually not most people anymore. That does actually put you above average in that regard. You're not most people anymore. You haven't done that. All of you are here, and especially those of you that are here on this call live, you've stayed, you've kept showing up, and that is why you are all winning in this journey, and that is why you are all getting such good results and really progressing in your health and fitness. So I want you to just remember that. Obviously, next week you guys are going to have a very well-deserved break, as am I, as will Adam. We'll all be resting. But I want you to remember that the fact that you guys are still here and are still showing up, even if it's tough at the moment, even if things feel tougher than they did even compared to last month, the fact that you're still here and the fact that you're still getting some stuff ticked off is why you are in, like, 10 steps ahead of the game. I want to do a bit of a live exercise with all of you guys at the moment. Obviously, with you guys live, this will also work if you guys are listening back. I want you to do a bit of reflective exercise. It's going to be 2 minutes. So I'm going to put 2 minutes on my phone, on my timer. And I want you to just grab your notes, whether it's a notebook or if it's just the notes on your phone, whatever, it doesn't matter. For 2 minutes, I want you to write down one habit that you built this year, something that you did not do consistently before. And that can be anything. Just some examples could be um, you used to find tracking really difficult and you couldn't stay consistent with tracking. Now you track. You never meal prepped. Now you meal prep. You never used to get steps in consistently. Now you get steps in. You have a really strict wake up and bedtime, and you sleep much better than you did before. Whatever it might be, I want you to pick one thing that you didn't used to do that you've started doing consistently. After that, I want you to then write down a moment where you did not quit this year. And this can be at any point throughout this year. It might be this month for you, it might be earlier on. A time where you struggled, you could have easily thrown the towel in and said, screw this, I'm not doing this anymore, but you didn't. I want you to write that down. And then the third thing I want you to do is write down one thing that you are genuinely really proud of. And I want that to be non-scale related because that's kind of the theme of this call today. Yes, the scale achievements are incredible, they're amazing, but we don't want to get bogged down by them. We don't want to only care about them. So I want you to write down a non-scale related win. This can be anything in terms of better energy, better sleep, lifting more weight, being stronger in the gym, feeling happier in yourself, better relationships, better performances at work, like getting a promotion. It can be literally anything, just nothing to do with scale. I want you to write down one thing because I want you guys to get used to celebrating your wins and also developing more self-awareness around that. Because like I said, it's really easy for us to gloss over them. So I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes and I want you guys to start that now. And I'm going to sit here for 2 minutes whilst you do it. I wish I had some sort of like music to play in the background, but I don't. I'm not as good at technology. 2 minutes on the clock. Start now. Write it down. Cool, the timer's on. Don't stress too much. Don't worry about getting this right. There is no right or wrong. There's literally no right or wrong here. I want you guys to just write what comes to mind, what springs to mind. I want you guys to be really honest and really make sure that it applies to you specifically. Okay, that's 30 seconds. So, one habit that you built this year that you did not do last year, you did not do in 2024, a moment that you did not quit where you could have done, one thing that you are genuinely really proud of that has nothing to do with the scales. Just coming up to a minute. And whether you're listening right now live or if you're watching this back on our YouTube channel, make sure you do it. Cool, less than a minute to go now. Whatever comes to mind, just jot it down. It can be anything. Cool, you've got 30 seconds left. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Nice. I hope that was helpful. Maybe some things have come up that maybe you've not thought about before, or maybe you've not actively taken stock of. So you don't ever have to share these or share them with me or Adam if you don't want to. If you want to keep them private, that's all good. But it's really important to do that, to start building up that self-awareness and also just getting used to celebrating your wins, even if they feel like they're really small wins. I promise you there is no small win. All wins are really good. So I want to finish off this call by just talking about next week. So obviously next week is Christmas week. You do not need to push next week. I know that I've been saying a lot this month about how like don't give in to the people telling you to wind down, don't give in to the people telling you to just start again in Jan. When I say that, I'm not talking about Christmas, obviously, like actual Christmas. I'm just talking about the rest of December. The 24th to the 26th is not about making sure that you lose weight no matter what, tracking calories, all that stuff. It is about rest, fun, and spending quality time with the people around you. That is what Christmas is for. And it's also about trusting the good habits that you've built. So, 3 days, even if you went absolutely crazy on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day, if you went absolutely mental, you drank the house out of all alcohol and you ate everything in the fridge, you would do absolutely nothing to reflect to ruin your progress at all. Those 3 days will do nothing to affect your progress. Like, yeah, the scales might read a bit heavier because you will have some water weight. But in terms of actual progress and what you've made this year, 3 days is going to do nothing. It's about the rest of the year that matters. And that's why I've been so keen to get you guys kind of like through December and to keep up the good work. But it's also about trusting the good habits that you've built. So, like I said, even if you had like the crazy 3 days, just trust that you've built some amazing habits this year and they're not going to go away after 3 days off plan. Like they're just not. You don't need crazy intensity next week. What you need is to keep being the person who always comes back. You need to be a boomerang. Have those 3 days, have a great time, spend amazing quality time with the people around you that are closest to you. But just know that you're going to come back in January and just get straight back to the plan, like get straight back and pick up from where you left off. And you're the kind of person that does that now. You're not the kind of person that does stop, start, stop, starts all the time anymore. You're someone that just takes it in your stride, still lives your life and enjoys, but just gets back onto routine when you can. So, like we mentioned, Adam would have mentioned it on like the goal setting call last week. Also, when we did the December game plan, I want you to just decide whether you want to fully rest, be fully off plan, be fully on plan over Christmas, or a mixture of both next week. For context, I will definitely be doing a bit of a mixture of both. Like I won't be tracking. I will not be worrying about my protein or anything like that on Christmas Day. I'll be eating whatever the hell I want. But I will go out on a walk. I will make sure I drink lots of water. I will try to get good sleep. That's kind of what I'll focus on. I'll get a mix there. But whether you want to be fully on, fully off, or go for a mixed approach, that's all good. Just be at peace with the outcome and set the intention before you go into Christmas. So, for example, if you say, I'm going to be fully on plan because that's where I'm at the moment, that's what feels good for me, that's totally fine. That's okay. Just know that you probably would have to track on Christmas Day. And you would see progress, but you wouldn't be able to cut loose as much on Christmas Day. If you're okay with that and you're fine with that, then that's all good. On the flip side, if you want to fully let loose, not do anything over those few days, that's also totally fine. Just accept the fact that you won't lose weight next week. It might be a little bit trickier to come back to it in Jan, just because you've kind of like fully come away from everything. Might be a little bit harder for you to get back on it in Jan. But as long as you are also okay with that and you don't mind having maybe a bit more of an uphill start in Jan, that's also okay. Um, Nothing you've built this year is going to disappear after 3 days, like I said. But also don't forget that regardless of what approach you want to take and what's best for you right now, that's all good. But don't forget that we do really work hard all year for moments like these. We work hard in the gym. We're really on it with our nutrition. We give our all to our health by the nature of what we're all doing here. But don't forget that life is also, for living and for enjoying as well. So don't forget that you should spend next week exactly how you want to spend it, regardless of what you think people might say, regardless of what you think people might want you to do. Make sure that you rest and you spend Christmas exactly how you want to spend it. And my final thing for you guys, because obviously this is just because of where Christmas is falling this year, this is the last call until Jan. I could not be prouder of every single one of you for all your progress this year. And I really mean that. I really mean that. Every single one of you that I have the absolute pleasure of getting to know this year, whether you've been here for a very brief time so far or whether you're long term, you've been with us for a long time, you have all made incredible progress. And I hope that from this call now, maybe you have learned or maybe you've noticed that you have made even more progress than you initially thought by looking at those non-scale victories and focusing on things to do with your mindset and your habits, as well as what the scale says. All of you have made huge strides in at least one way this year. And for that, I could not be prouder of you all. You deserve a rest next week for those couple of days over Christmas. And all you have to do in January is be willing to say, that was really fun. I had a great time. Now we get to work in January after a bit of a rest. And that's just kind of where you need to be. So it's been great to have you guys on this call today. For all of you that have joined live, for all of you watching back, I hope this is obviously really useful for you guys as well. I'm going to let you all go and enjoy your evening. For those of you that are doing the steps challenge, you've got some time to finish off your steps and try and get to that 13K step goal that I've set you today, which is a big one, but you guys can definitely do it. So well done. I'll let you all go. And yeah, we'll be back in January with the group calls.